The heat is on, ladies and gentlemen, and hopefully your air conditioner is working as it should. If it's not, or if you feel like it's on the fritz, then you may want to call R&R Controls. Yeah, I'm showing a Generac generator right now. They've got those too. But a lot of you don't know that R&R Controls started back in 1985 as a family-owned, family-run business. They're in Brownsville in Edmonson County, and now they take in the entire 270. But right now, one of the biggest things that they're dealing with is HVAC, heating, cooling, air conditioning, cooling towers, ventilation systems, automation, all of that stuff. And did you know that if you get an air conditioning system put in your house, and I'm talking about something that's a little more 2025, that's going to cool your house efficiently, and even for your business, they've got systems where you can get on your phone, right here on your phone, or log on to your computer and control your surroundings, your climate. They can do that. R&R Controls knows how to do that. So you should give them a call because, we're only going to get a little hotter before things begin to cool down as we head toward fall. And then you're going to be needing some heat. I know it doesn't feel like it right now, and some of the numbers I'm about to show you doesn't look like it, but it'll be here sooner than you think. Fall is only 2 months away, practically 9 weeks. It's hard to believe, but it'll be here. Are you ready for it? 270 777 2024. 270 777 2024. R&R Controls, never be without. Well, it's a Tuesday and it's July 22nd, and I'm Chris Allen here with your 270 weather. Weather for the 270 area code and beyond. Beyond. Yes, it was a hot one today. We'll check the numbers here in a moment. Let's go to the Plano cam. Well, look how beautiful that crepe myrtle is in front of my window. Isn't that nice? Yeah, pretty, pretty. It's had a lot of rain this year, so it's growing like enormous, and it is beautiful. The sky is beautiful now. Got a lot of sunshine. We didn't have any shower activity, as expected today. I said that much of any shower activity would stay to our west, and that is certainly going to be what I'll show you on the radar here in just a moment. But looking good here at 6:55 p.m. on this Tuesday evening. Let's check some of the numbers from today from the Bowling Green Airport. 91. I know it felt hotter than that, but 91, the official high at the airport, 1 degree above the normal of 90. 73 was our low, and no precipitation for the past 24 hours. But well, where'd it go? There it is. Okay, I'm sorry. Here's a look at the radar. I thought I had it called up. I didn't have it quite ready, but now there it is. So you can see by radar None of the shower activity even messed with us today. We had all we were going to get for a little while from yesterday. Those big booming thunderstorms. The stuff that's out there today has been mainly, as mentioned and as forecast, right there to the west of us. From Harrisburg, Illinois, all the way down through Grand Rivers, land between the lakes. These are some very slow moving systems, a little slow moving storm. It's dumping a lot of very heavy rain. Right there at Kentucky Lake Barkley. Yeah. Most of these will begin to die off after dark. But if you're thinking there's going to be something around here, no, no. Sorry to disappoint you. And I doubt we're going to see anything tomorrow either. It's just there's nothing here to. There's heating, but there's nothing else to really trigger the thunderstorms like in previous days when we've had an old front, an old boundary. All that's now pushed off to the west, and that's why they're getting it back to the west of us. The atmosphere is pretty much capped off today, so not much of anything. Tomorrow is going to be a lot like today. We're not going to really see any rain until maybe we get into Thursday afternoon, but even then, the rain chances are not that high. Let's look at, I want to show you this with the heat and the humidity that's going on. This is, let me see if I can make that a little less, a little smaller so it doesn't take up the whole page right there. Let me see if that's better. Yeah, it's a little better. Okay. So the heat and humidity now is going to be the big deal over the coming days. It's going to be less about rain and more about this oppressive heat and humidity. Peak heat indices or index readings between 105 and 18. I've been saying 100 to 110, but yes, there will be those times it exceeds 105 degrees and gets close to 110. They've rounded it off to 108 in the next few days. You can see the red areas on that graphic. That is the major heat risk. There's a new item called the heat risk that the Weather Service has put out, and that's what that map is showing, where the highest heat is going to be. The highest heat is going to be back into western Tennessee. You see those purple shaded areas? That is extreme heat risk. And as it says here, an extended stretch of hot temperatures, high dew points from Wednesday through at least Friday. Now, our heat advisory is in effect through Wednesday afternoon for us here in southern Kentucky, along and west of 65. And remember, I said expect that heat index or heat advisory to be extended further east, and it was today. So now it includes Bowling Green and Warren County. It officially goes into effect noon tomorrow, Wednesday, and ends at 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. This is where heat index values of up to 105 are expected. Now, these purple shaded counties, which includes Paducah, that's an extreme heat warning. That's where the heat values are going to be much, much worse. And then, of course, we start talking about heat exhaustion, heat stroke, heat sickness. This is all things we need to keep in mind. You need to stay well hydrated. If you've got to be outdoors, like if you're a construction worker or you're a farmer, you mow lawns, things like anything you have to do outdoors. I mean, you've got to take it easy. You cannot just get out there and just go crazy like you normally do. You got to slow your roll, stay hydrated, please, and you've got to take frequent breaks in the shade. Come in. I mean, you don't want to shock your body and just all of a sudden go from the high heat and humidity straight to well air conditioned rooms that are in the 60s. That's a shock to your system. And by the same token, you don't want to drink really cold water. That's a no-no. If you've been outside and you're sweating and you go inside and then you drink cold water, you can shock your system. You can't, and that's a no-no. You need to drink lukewarm, semi-cool water, tap water. Don't do the chilled water because doctors have said over and over and over again, you can shock your system into all kinds of bad things if you do that. As it says there, cool water with ice, but not cold water that's been refrigerated for a long time. That's just too cold for you to take all of a sudden. So easy, easy does it next few days. All right, let's go to the Kentucky Mesonet. Let me refresh, and there we go. Lots of 80s around the area. We go here to southern Kentucky and the 270. Lots of 80s, mid 80s, low 80s here and there. This is over where they've had a little bit of rains, 80 to 85. Rainfall today, past 24 hours, as you know, has been the radar just back to the west to wet things there. Winds right now are more easterly than they've been, and they are light and will become light and variable as we get into the overnight hours. Let's go to the maps, the charts here. Here we go with the stalled boundary, and this is why we're seeing activity on the radar back to the west because it's not over us. Yesterday it was over us. Today it has slipped back to the west, and that's where we're seeing some of the thunderstorms. Now, that front is going to hang around as we head into Tuesday, and it'll be the focal point once again for showers and thunderstorms on Wednesday. It'll start to break apart a little, maybe even into a short wave here as it moves off to the east. But really, that boundary is just going to kind of hang around for a while. Here we are into Wednesday. It's still back there. Not much happening, though, because the atmosphere is kind of capped off with all the warm air, the hot air. So we don't have the perfect conditions to produce rain and thunderstorms, not yet. Here we go into Thursday, big ridge of high pressure. That's going to keep us hot and muggy. Thursday afternoon, there could be a renegade shower or two in here. You can see some better rain chances to the west and northwest of us, which on Friday we'll try to work into our area. Saturday, scattered showers, better chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms, not just Saturday, but also Sunday. Monday, it moves away. Tuesday, not much there. How about the blender? What does the blender show? Will it show any kind of a cool down? Probably not. And there we go. Let me update this. Get a fresh one. And there we go. Well, there's some mid 90s next few days, which we know. And then next week, mid to upper 90s. Look at that, 97. 1 week from today, Tuesday. Then, as we start the first day or two of August, there's a 91. That's at least coming down a little bit. I do know that by the first few days of August, there are signals that up in the plains in the upper Midwest, parts of the Great Lakes, they're going to get some cooler, yes, cooler air. How far south that goes remains to be seen, but it is a possibility we could be looking at some of that air coming our direction. Maybe. Maybe that's the beginning of it there. But until that time, it's just going to be really, really hot. Here we go with the 7 day forecast. Mid 90s, next few days. That means the heat index is going to be, as mentioned, 100, 105 or higher. Therefore, the heat advisory that is in effect. And then we do see somewhat lower 90s for the weekend. That's because of higher rain chances. But then we're right back to the 94s and 95s after that. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be relief anytime soon. Okay, that's going to do it for this Tuesday edition of 270 Weather. Thanks for watching as always. God bless, and I'll see you in the morning at 6 a.m. for